welcome back. So for today's video we have a makeup tutorial, which these kinds of videos are few and far between on my channel. I don't do them super often, so it's always really special when I do. I wanted to give you guys just an updated everyday makeup routine video. It's very neutral but also really glam, kind of pulls off the best of both worlds, which we love. But before we get into all that, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by Ana Luisa, which is all the jewelry that I'm wearing today. I have these amazing dainty unique pieces on. I have this whole ear situation that I'll show you guys in a minute, and I have this really pretty ring on too that I'll show you guys some close-ups. So Ana Luisa is a high quality sustainable jewelry brand, which is so important right now with all of the excess that we have in our daily lives, to have something that is more eco-friendly and sustainable. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel just like a little bit better inside when I'm purchasing from a company that is more sustainable and eco-friendly. Just kind of makes me feel better about my purchase and like I'm doing something right. Before I say anything else, I do want to show you guys the pieces that I'm wearing because they're just so cute. So the first standout piece here are these earrings that I'm wearing, the little safety pins. These are the Sia earrings and I am obsessed with these. I have been looking for a cute pair of safety pin earrings for a while now and I had not found anything that I like. What I really love in my jewelry is for something to be trendy and stick out a little bit more, but not too much and be too obnoxious and crazy. These are still very subtle and understated, which I love. And then on my second piercing, I have the Isabella Solo White earrings. This is the kind of thing that I wear almost every single day. I love little dainty hoops like this, especially when it has a little dangly situation, just to add a little bit more something to it. I think these are just precious and I'm just obsessed with these. So these are great for the second piercing, but also just the first to wear every single day because they're just so easy, but also really feminine and cute. So I really love these. And the one that I have on my cartilage, which I just put this piercing in my cartilage for the first time in a really long time, but these little hoops are also from there, and I actually got these a while ago when I worked with them before, and I wear them all the time. Again, a great everyday piece just to have on your first piercing, or they're great on the second piercing, or however many piercings you have. I'm wearing this one on my cartilage and I do think it looks really cute. Just dainty enough. It's just a little tiny hoop with a little stud on it, and it's almost like that huggy style, so it cuffs right to your ear. It doesn't dangle down at all. And these are the Milo earrings. The last piece I want to show you guys is the Shiso ring, or the Shiso. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'll link it below so you guys can check it out for yourself. But I got it in gold. It's like this really pretty, almost like chain link kind of ring, very simple and understated, like I mentioned before, which I love. These are going to be great to layer with different things, and I'm just obsessed. So I love this whole situation together. Very my style. You could check out the links in the description box for these. They're so beautiful, and the prices on Ana Luisa range from $39 to higher end pieces. So there's definitely something for everyone. If you guys only wear like very fine jewelry, you can find that there too. So definitely check them out. They're great, and I'm just really excited to wear these. Thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. But let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. I know you guys are itching to get into it, so let's start it off bare face and looking a little bit different than this. Let's go ahead and get into it. First things first is some primer, and I am using the Benefit Professional Primer. It's like a pore minimizing silicone type of primer, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this before. I actually just kind of recently learned this, which is like, where has my brain been? I don't know. But if you guys are wearing a silicone based foundation, you need to make sure that you're wearing a silicone based primer as well. So the foundation that I'm going to be using today is my L'Oreal Infallible. What it does is help your foundation not separate on your face. It keeps everything intact. I feel like this is a game changer. If you guys didn't know this, it's really helped my makeup routine. My makeup lasts longer. Sometimes it would kind of, by the end of the day, be separating on my nose or coming off up here or just whatever. I just had issues with that for a while, and it has finally changed the game for that. So if you guys didn't know that, I hope that helps you. But starting off with some primer, doing like a pea-sized amount on my nose. I did my skincare routine like this morning, so I have sunscreen and stuff like that on. So I'm kind of gonna do this like in my T-zone, where my pores are most visible. And then just excess, I just kind of bring it all the way around to my face. And I am breaking out so bad right now, obviously you guys can see, which is a bummer because I was finally getting really used to, you know, my skin being clear, getting really comfortable with not wearing makeup. But I think it's the mask situation, which I've heard a lot of people mention that the masks are kind of making you break out. That's, I think, what's happening because it's all in this general area, you know, so it's really a bummer. And like I mentioned, the foundation that I'm wearing is the L'Oreal Infallible. been a go-to of mine for many years now, and I'm applying it with a beauty sponge, not a beauty blender. This is actually from Amazon. I'll link it below. It comes in a pack of 5, which is great. And I just use the stamp sponge. I find it's the best way to apply this foundation rather than a brush. So I'll speed this up and then we'll get to the next step. Next up we have concealer, and I'm kind of mixing 2 together right now because they're both kind of off colors for my current skin tone. I have this Morphe one that's a little bit too white for me right now, and then I have Fenty Beauty, which is a little bit too dark, and I'm also running low on it. So what I do is I put the Fenty Beauty one down first and then the lighter one just over, and then I just kind of mix them together, and it works fine for me. I know this isn't ideal, but making it work, you know? So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it on my under eyes. It's just like a little too yellowy right now, but I mean, it's not bad. Little there, little there. And then now the Morphe one, which I have a lot more of, so I kind of want to use it up. And I just go like that. It still adds that like brightening color without looking like a little ghostly, you know, because it is a little bit too light. I guess I was really pale at one point, which is always a little sad to see. But anyways, I blend out my concealer. I kind of like to let it sit for maybe just like a minute, less than a minute, just to let it get a little tacky. I feel like it works better and it's easier to blend when it sits for just a few seconds. I don't really know. I heard that from Bretman Rock actually. He lets his concealer like sit before he blends it out. I'm gonna blend it out with my Morphe brush that I love, that I've had for so long that the number has like faded off, but I will link it because it is one of my favorite brushes ever. I use it to touch up throughout the day. I use it to blend out my concealer. I use it to, you know, cover up little blemishes. So I love this. So I kind of start by blending it with this, and then I go in with my beauty sponge. It still has like a little bit of my foundation on it, so it kind of blends everything together a little bit better. So I think it's been a few seconds now, so we can start. So I just kind of go like this. And to set the concealer, I've been using the Maybelline Fit Me loose powder. This is my second little container of this, and I do really like it, but I think I got the wrong color this time. It's a little bit too light. I think the last one had more of a yellowy undertone. This one's a little bit pink, which I will make it work. It's fine. And I just kind of coat it on like that, and we're gonna essentially bake. So I just kind of put it on, and then I will let it sit for a few seconds, and then I'll dust it off. And then we're gonna leave this out because I am gonna use this to clean up my bronzer and blush after I do that. It's kind of a little trick that I have to sharpen your contour line a little bit better. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. While we're waiting for that to sit, my bronzer is gonna be the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. It's one of my favorites right now. I kind of go back and forth between this one, my Laguna bronzer, and then my MAC Give Me Sun, but this is just the current one that I'm feeling right now. I sometimes get into habits with my makeup and I just do the same thing every day for a while and then I switch it up. So that's the current habit we're in and the current routine we're doing. So I'm doing that, but my blush is still the same. I'm still obsessed with this MAC Like Me Love Me blush. I do kind of want to get a new blush for summer because I really love a good peachy pink blush, and it's nice to switch up every once in a while for the new season. So maybe I'll get a new one of those, but I do love the MAC blushes if you guys are interested in getting anything. And then for my my highlighter, I think I'm gonna do the Balm Mary Luminizer, which again is a longtime favorite of mine that I've shared before, but that is what we're gonna do for a little highlight. So let's go ahead and dust this off now. And then kind of just do this to, again, make sure all the product soaks into my skin and looks the most natural. This is still a little damp, obviously. It just kind of helps it soak in. So now let's do my bronzer. I'm using this Real Techniques brush with this Morphe brush to blend everything out. I use this first to kind of contour. So that's what we're gonna do with my Hoola bronzer. Now some blush, and I've been trying different things with my blush recently. I have a hard time saying blush all the time, I don't know why. I've been trying different things with it, and I've just kind of come back to what I've been doing originally because I do really like it. I was trying to do like more of the contouring with the blush like people do, where it's just focused in these areas, and I personally really like the look of it being on the apples of your cheeks and then brushed over your nose. I think it's really pretty for spring and summer. And I've just found that that is what I prefer for my face shape. So that is what I do using this mineralized blush from MAC that I love. Just kind of start it's essentially like this, obviously. It just kind of goes in a and I don't want like too much on my nose. I don't want it to look crazy like I have a sunburn peeking through, but I want it to just look flushed is how I've always described it, which is another word I have a hard time saying. Blush and flushed, which I have talked about before. So that should do it on the blush. I probably will just leave it out and come back to it because I kind of like to do one last application of it when I'm done with my makeup, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. But before I do my highlighter, I'm gonna put a little bit of translucent powder on my cheeks. How would I describe that? Beneath my contour line to kind of sharpen it up a little bit. So I just pick up that same brush that I used and do this. Which again, I'm sure you guys have seen before, but I personally think it's a game changer. Kind of sharpens everything up a little bit more and defines your cheekbones. So I'm gonna let that chill for a minute, but while we're waiting on that, I don't wanna waste any time, so we're gonna go ahead and apply my highlighter, which this Mary Luminizer by The Balm is like a champagne-y kind of highlighter. If you guys aren't familiar with it, I think it's one of the best highlighters ever, personally. I'm gonna apply it with this little brush here, just kind of in this shape, this general area. Obviously focus it the most on my cheeks, but I will hit up my forehead, my chin, my nose. I feel like this is up to personal preference, whatever you guys like. I know there's different techniques for highlighting, but I like this. That. Not too much on the Cupid's bow because I do think if you put too much, it looks like you have boogers. Like sometimes when people have a lot of it, I'm like, that looks crazy. I also have a brush hair on my nose. Okay. And then I do a little on my chin. Like I said, I'm having some blemishes happening in this general area. So I don't want to put like highlighter over a pimple and make it like pop. Like, want to kind of avoid that and just put a little there where there's no issues. And then I just put a little on my forehead like this. I like to be really glowy for summer. So that's what's happening here. That is probably enough for highlighter. I will spray some Fix Plus in a minute, and that will kind of make it pop even more. And I think I will put a little bit on my nose with a smaller brush. So I'm gonna grab that. Where are you? There we go. So I have this little angled brush, and I typically just pick up a little of the highlighter and put it on the bridge of my nose. And then a little bit on the tip of my nose. There we go. Now, another secret weapon of mine is this Fix Plus from MAC. I'm running low. I go through this stuff like crazy. I really just like the way it makes your makeup set into your skin and look a little bit more natural. And it also makes highlighter pop. You can touch it up with your brush while your face is still a little damp, and it'll make it pop a little bit more. It brings pigment out and things. So it's just kind of a little secret weapon. So if you don't have this, you definitely should check it out. So I'm just gonna spray my face and keep my mouth shut, because I made the mistake in these videos before where I talk while I'm spraying this and I get it in my mouth, and it's just, why do I do that? I don't know, but here we go. I am gonna add a little bit more blush just because I don't feel like I have enough. Like I said, I like to add more once we finish my face makeup. So I'm just gonna dust a little bit more on. And then I get the hair of the brush on my face, which is always great. Okay. Okay, zoomed you guys in for my brows. Very important step. I feel like brows make or break your face. So I have kind of switched up my routine a little bit here. I have a new product that I've been using, so I'm going to share that. But first things first is just to brush them out, brush them up, get them all in line, get them ready to go. So this is all we'll do, the little spoolie. Quarantine brows happening here. Need to get them done, but you know how that goes. Okay, so what I've been doing differently is I've been using this Wunder brow. I was actually just looking for a new brow gel and I found this. And it is like a gel, but you use it a little bit differently. I wasn't expecting it to come this way. It just has this little brush here with the product, and it's almost like a gel and a pomade in one, because it comes with this little two-sided brush that has the spoolie that you can use as like a gel situation, angled brush side that you can use kind of as a pomade. So what I've been doing is just kind of filling in my brows, the front part with this pomade, and then I do the ends with my brush, or my pencil, sorry, with my Brow Wiz. So this color is the brunette color because I do have darker eyebrows. Just taking this brush, picking up some product on this little situation. So just got a little bit on there. I start in the front like this with the brush angled going down this way. And it looks really like dark at first, but I blend it out. And what's cool about this, and what I think is like gonna be good for summer, is that it's waterproof. So that is nice. I also feel like a pomade adds a little bit more texture to your eyebrows that just a pencil can't really achieve. So that's why I've been really liking it. I feel like it's adding some depth. Okay, that's about it for the Wunder brow. Which also, this pencil is like breaking. So this brush, sorry, I'm like getting all my words wrong right now, which is not ideal when you're filming a makeup tutorial. But now we're moving on to my pencil, my Brow Wiz. And I just really love the Brow Wiz because it's a really thin pencil. There is also the brow definer, which is thicker if you prefer that, but I really love this. So I just kind of start at the end here, define like the tail of my brow a little bit more. And I've kind of been experimenting in quarantine with my eyebrows, trying to figure out what fits my face shape best, whether it's a thick brow or a thinner brow. And I've kind of done a thin brow most of summer, and I've realized that I think a thicker brow looks better on me. I couldn't figure out if it was just not flattering on my face. I love thick eyebrows, but I didn't know if it was just maybe a little bit too heavy, so I kind of had to experiment. And after doing thin, seeing some photos of me with thinner eyebrows, looking back at photos of me with thick eyebrows, I decided that I prefer this, and I'm kind of trying to grow them in again. They're definitely thicker than what they were like last month, but it's gonna be a process to get them to where I want them to be. But I really just would love to, like, you know, just have some nice thick brows where just when I'm not wearing makeup, they look defined and pretty, which I think we all want. But yeah, so that is where we're at with that. Done with the pencil. Now I'm gonna do this NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. This is a clear brow gel, but I did dip this into my Wunder brow at one point because this is pretty much out, so I wanted to use this brush for brow gel. So it has a little bit of color on it, and it kind of just helps, again, give some texture. There's not a lot of product on it anymore because that was like last week, and it's been used a few times since then. It has some clear on it, so it kind of just sets my brows and also adds a little texture. Okay, I think my brows are done. Now we can move on to my eyes. And now we're moving on to our eyes, second to last step. Last step is lips. Yes, we're almost there. So I have been doing this for a while, and I have shared this so many times, but I love, absolutely love doing whatever product I have on my face also on my eyes, whether that's my blush, whether that's my bronzer, whether that's my highlighter. I love it. I feel like it's so easy, so quick for every day, and it kind of gives you like a monochromatic, very natural vibe, which I really, really like, just kind of enhancing your features and making your cheeks stand out a little bit more. Just, it looks really good. So, and you know, it's just like, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about what color you're gonna put on your eyes. You can just do the bronzer that you're wearing that day. So it's great. So today I'm gonna do my Hoola bronzer on my eyes, and I'm just using this little Morphe brush just to kind of blend it on, and I'll show you guys the shape that I kind of do for a natural look. I kind of just blended it into my crease and blend it out, and then kind of bring a little bit onto my lid. I almost want it to look just like my eyes naturally contoured and just kind of open up my eyes a little bit because I do have very small eyes. And we really open them up with my makeup. It's crazy to see, like, before and after with makeup. It makes such a difference to do a little eyeshadow, some eyelashes, and some pop on the inner corner, which we'll see in a minute. But yeah, so this is just kind of what I do with the windshield wiper motion. And then I kind of bring a little bit over here to kind of shape in my eye a little bit of a cat eye moment. Not fully, but you guys get what I mean. Just kind of bring a little bit more into the crease. And it's just very natural, you know. I'm going to put a little bit onto my lid. I don't want it to be dark and pigmented. I want it to just be bronzed, you know, which is really easy to achieve with your bronzer because the bronzer isn't as pigmented as a lot of our eyeshadows, and sometimes they can come off really harsh and dark, and this is great for that natural look. You even could just pick it up with your finger and blend it on. It's really easy. So windshield wiper motion, bring it out just a tad bit. And I personally have been liking not putting anything on my lower lash line. I put mascara, but I used to always smudge out my lower lash line, and by used to I mean literally like last week. But the last few days I've really been into just leaving it bare and just having the mascara on my lower lash line, and that's it. So I feel like it just keeps my eyes a little bit brighter. I don't know. And now we are gonna brighten up my inner corner and my brow bone with the same highlighter that we used on my cheeks. It's just the Mara Luminizer by The Balm, and I'm using that little angled e.l.f. brush to pack it on my inner corner. Just enough to brighten my eyes up and open them up a little bit more. I feel like this complements the natural eyeshadow vibe. It kind of just adds like a little bit more something to it, you know? And it also brightens up my eyes. and then onto your brow bone. And you could do an eyeshadow here, like a very faint shimmery eyeshadow. You could definitely do that. But I think using your highlighter just kind of adds to that monochromatic vibe that I mentioned that I'm very into. That should be it for the eyeshadow. Now we're gonna do some mascara and some lashes, the fun part that really just changes my whole energy in this world. Lashes just change my life. I'm just gonna curl my lashes really quick. I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on it because I am putting falsies on, so I don't really need to care about these little peasant eyelashes that I have. They're just, they're so little, you know, like they're short, they're blonde, they don't stay curled. I feel like if you have great lashes, you are so blessed. Like they're just a blessing. I don't know what else I can say. Mine are very little, so appreciate what you got, you know what I mean? So just curling these real quick to prep them for a little mascara, which if you guys know where mascara is from, let me know. She wears mascara. If you guys know what that is, like just please let me know that you do so I don't feel like a freak for saying that, but she's cutesy, you know? Okay, now the mascara that I've been loving is this e.l.f. mascara and and I love it because it's a smudge proof mascara and it's what I've been looking for basically all my life. I always get black mascara smudge on my under eye, on my brow bone because I have more hooded eyelids. It's just always been an issue for me and I've never really found anything that works, but this is great. So it's a double-sided mascara that this is for your top lashes and then this side is for your bottom lashes, a little bit more small and precise. So I absolutely love this stuff and it's such a good price. I will link it below for you guys if you're looking for something similar. And it's not too hard to get off either. A lot of these kinds of smudge proof mascaras are like super waterproof and intense and they like rip out your eyelashes when you're trying to remove it. This is not that bad at all and I have not had any smudging, like not one day where I look like a raccoon. It is perfection. So definitely recommend, but I'm just gonna apply a small layer, a light layer, if you will, of this mascara. Just get it ready for the falsies that we're gonna put on. She loves wearing mascara. What else does she say? Oh, she's a mammoth, of course. How could I forget that? I think that's like one of the best TikToks to ever exist, that TikTok sound. I think I'll be saying that until I'm literally 100 years old. That's the plan. So mascara is almost done. I did get a little bit on my under eye because I messed up, but it is okay. Okay, zoomed you guys in even more for the lash portion so that you can see how I apply my lashes. Whoops, we're dropping things around here. So the lashes that I'm gonna wear are the Ardell Wispies, if you can see. And I thought I should mention this, that every pair that I apply before I put a fresh pair on, I always trim the lash. If you feel like you cannot figure out false lashes, you don't know why they don't look good on you, you don't know why they don't work, and you have smaller eyes like me, you need to trim them. That's what you're doing wrong. You need to trim your lashes. So just kind of measure your eye and see. So the strip is naturally really long. So that is just, that would be stabbing me in the eye if I left it full length. I usually trim like a few wisps off, like to this point. You guys can see that. So that's like 2 full little wisps of lashes. Attach them onto the tweezer, pick them up with that, and then squeeze out a little bit of the glue and lightly place it onto the band. Try not to overdo it like I just did. Like a nice light layer. I don't know if you guys can see that exactly, but just don't do it too thick. You don't want it to look like you can see your lash glue. You want to keep it natural. not too much where it looks crazy, but not too little where they don't stick. So this next step is very important. You have to wait for the glue to get tacky so that it sticks on. Do it when you first put the glue onto the lash. It's going to slip all over the place. It's going to be too, it needs to dry a little bit. So to apply my lashes, I feel like I always need my little mirror right here. I can apply without it, but I prefer to use my little magnifying mirror to make sure I'm getting every little crevice and corner tucked in with the lash so that they look most natural. I pop it on and then close my eye just to make sure that it is getting in the right spot and not getting too high up on my lid. I want it right on the very edge so that it looks most natural. I don't want you to see the band, obviously. I also forgot I wanted to put a little bit more mascara on with the lashes on just to kind of coat them together so that they look even more natural. I feel like that really helps to have a little mascara on the false lash, just because I don't want them to look like so perfect where it's so obvious. I mean, I think the trained eye would be able to tell that I'm wearing false lashes, but I don't want everyone to know that. You know what I mean? I want them to look natural. That's the idea. Okay, now for my go-to favorite lipstick combination of all time. I feel like I always try to do something different, and it just, like, I just love this so much, so I'm just sticking to my guns, and this is my favorite thing ever. So, it's a little worn down lip liner. This is the NYX Natural Liner, which I have actually been talking about for years on my channel and on my Instagram. I love this liner. The price has kind of gone up in the last few years, which is really annoying, but it's a great liner and a great price regardless if it's gone up. Lipstick that I wear so much. So this is the Lorac Pro. This is the color Nude. And I just love that so much. It's like my holy grail. Okay, and that is the end of this video. This is the finished look. I actually really love how it came out. This is like an ideal makeup day for me. You know when just sometimes your makeup is just hitting different, like it goes on nice, your skin is looking smooth. It's just, sometimes you have good makeup days, sometimes you have bad. Today's a good makeup day, which works out for me filming a makeup tutorial. Thank you. So I'm really loving this look. I will link the standout products that I mentioned in the description box for you guys, as well as my jewelry situation that I mentioned. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you guys here. And if you have subscribed, or you're doing so right now, which you should be, make sure you also turn on your notifications so you guys can be notified every single time I upload a video. I'm trying to do 2 videos a week these days. Let's see how long I can stick to it. I'm trying to do a few a week, so we're gonna try to stick to that for a while, but the days are kind of differing, so make sure you guys turn on those notifications so you can be notified when a video goes up. Also, one last thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. Make sure you guys check out those links in the description box if you're interested in anything I mentioned in this video. By supporting brands that I share and brands that work with me, you're supporting my channel. So thank you guys in advance. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.